Bonjour et merci de voler des liens de style Hendrie. Nous contrerons d'une altitude de 30 000 pieds. D'ailleurs, Jerry Lewis.
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Friday, we have our radiothon for the Best of the Phil Hendrie Show CD. And we'll see what kind of money we can make this year. Made about $170,000 last year, but now that we're syndicated, we ought to be able to we ought to be able to raise a few more dollars from the fine people out there in the U.S. of A. And all the money goes to a good cause, goes to my friend's place, a resource center for homeless and runaway kids in Hollywood. These are kids that are living in a sewer someplace, and, occasionally they might want to take a bath. They might want to get a little medical counseling, a little job counseling, maybe even make a phone call. Not that anybody calls them. And they don't, believe me. These are kids, they leave home and their parents want nothing more to do with them. Which I suppose some of you are saying to yourselves, well, good. Well, even though I'm the evil stepfather, I still believe that you have a responsibility to a kid at least till he's 18. These are kids who are living out on the street. And again, as teenagers, they're the least lovable, least likable people in the world. There's nothing, what is more odious than a teenager? Think about it. They're not cuddly little orphan kids dragged out of the earthquake rubble of Mexico. They're not cutesy-poo. They don't look like the Olsen twins. They're just big, gangly, gawky, freaky, scary teenagers. And they're pissed off at this. They're pissed off at that. They don't like life because they can't have some of the stuff that they want. They don't dig life because of some of the crap that they want to do that they're not allowed to do. They're caught right in the middle, and that's the way it ought to be. But the fact is, they got nobody in their life telling them how it ought to be. No parent, no nothing. Whoever it was that was charged with the upbringing and the upkeep of these kids long ago predictably washed their hands of them, and they're off having themselves a taste someplace. So the kid is out on the street, and it's left to other people to either victimize them or take care of them. Fortunately for my friends, for us, I should say, my friend's place is there, and they do that. Now, I know I've been over there. There's a telephone with a phone number that the kids can pick up and call home. Most of these kids won't pick up the phone to call home. You want to know why? Because the person on the other end is going to hang up on them. They got moms, they got dads. They pick up the phone to call them. These people will slam the phone down. They don't want to hear from them. So don't be, singing this song that, oh, geez, they have parents out there that are worried about them. No, they do not. Their parents only wish they'd die. So now they slap on a backpack. They travel across the country. They come to Los Angeles. They live in an alley someplace. They sell their ass on the street for a few dollars. They get hooked on drugs. They get AIDS. That's what you did, Mike, when you first came out here, isn't it? Yeah. And you got AIDS and sold your ass on the street. Now you're doing great, though. Married 8 years. Everything's just fine. Not that they're not making good money selling their ass on the street. Would you get out of here with that? My producer just made me say that. But the fact is the kids are out there. So these guys 10 years ago started this thing called My Friend's Place where they can go get a little medical counseling, get a little job counseling. The new resource center allows them to maybe go in and take a shower and clean themselves up a little bit and find out maybe that there's something more to life than hanging around on the sidewalk, scoring drugs or whatever the hell it is that they do. I don't know. And that's what our efforts have been aimed at, raising money for these good people. And over the last few years, we've raised about $250,000. Let's hope we can do a little bit more this year. Now, you can order our Best of CD online by going to philhendrieshow.com. And that gives you a compact disc with some of our best bits over the last year. It's $23.50, $3.50 for shipping and handling, and $20 for the CD. And it makes a nice gift. If you order it online, of course, there's nothing. You get the CD. If you meet us at a personal appearance or you order it via our radiothon this week, I'll sign it for you. I'll give you an autographed copy if you'd like. Maybe you don't. Maybe you could care less. That's fine too. But whatever, every little bit helps. We appreciate it. So that'll be Friday night between 7 and 10. So we had that guy on in the first hour, Lloyd, and Lloyd apparently had a problem over there at the strip bar. Last night on the Hollywood freeway, there was a running gun battle between a stripper and some guy who thought she was supposed to do something more. These guys that hire strippers, assuming that this is Vegas, so that there's, I thought we had an understanding, my dear. Well, whatever. So the guy was expecting something more and didn't get it, so the stripper splits, and the guy chases her. She had an escort, and he was firing bullets at her. And this was at about 12:30 at night. at Woodman, between Woodman and Sepulveda on the Hollywood freeway, and guess who's traveling that length of freeway at night on his way home? You got it, the kid here, along with Mr. Schaefer. Now, how did I miss that? Schaefer, was that you? A running gun battle on the freeway between a stripper who this clown claims stiffed her, if you'll pardon the expression, and some dick paying for whatever it was. It his birthday? Can you imagine how sad this cat is? He's all by himself at his birthday, hires a stripper to come to his motel room. Hey, what are you doing, babe? Come on back, put your ass in my face. What you doing, whore? I hired you to take your clothes off. What you doing? You ever been to one of those bachelor parties where you hire the stripper and she comes with like a guy who's 18 feet? Talk about throwing a bucket of water on the event. Good God. At least have the guy stay out in a car. She shows up and there's some big 18-foot tall clown. Go ahead and have fun, man. Yeah, I'm going to have a ball now. So apparently this guy, it was his, whatever it was, his 40th birthday. So he wants to throw himself a big time. Not that he has any friends, which he doesn't. But the next best thing, just let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages. He hires himself a stripper. Goes out and gets himself a bottle of Jack Daniels. Sits there on the edge of the motel bed, swigging a bottle while she's supposed to stand there and dance to a boombox he bought over at Kmart this morning. And Mr. Schaefer sends me this message now, quote, you notice that the ugly ones never have escorts. I got to be honest with you, man. I ain't really been that involved in that many bachelor parties. This guy's got it down. According to Crozier, the mud turtles come alone, quote, end quote. The mud turtles come alone. How many bachelor parties you guys been to? And not only that, I guess it was about a year ago. Do you remember Juan? Was Juan getting married? No, Larry was getting married. And Juan threw a bachelor party for him, and I knew well enough not to go to that. First of all, I don't go to no bachelor party thrown by a cat named Juan. That's A. B, I ain't going to no bachelor party thrown... Some guy named Juan throwing a bachelor party. I ain't going within 50 miles of that. Were you there? It must have been funky. Wait, let me ask you something. Was the party in his tool shed out in the backyard? He can't have it in the house. He can't have it in his mom's house. He had to have it in the tool shed. And, the girl, she rings the bell at the front door. Is this the back? I don't know. Am I supposed to be here? Oh, it's in the tool shed around. Jesus Christ. She's walking back. The driveway's dark. She's stepping into gopher holes in her high heels, going out to the tool shed where, Juan's got pictures of God knows what hanging, it's tacked to the wall. Having that big bachelor party. No, I bowed out of that little jam session, given the fact that I was newly married myself. There's not a chance. I might have considered it. And she's dancing under a plastic blue tarp that he threw up for the evening. He's got candles and bottles, whatever. Torches. He's got those tiki torches. He went over to Home Depot. Bought a bunch of tiki torches, threw up some blue tarp. This poor chick is finding her way over the gopher holes in the backyard in her spiked heels. And she comes upon a whole bunch of guys in fat pants, tank tops, swinging it straight out of, like MD 2020, iron butterflies on. In other words, a great time. A great time. So there you go. We just did a fairly entertaining wrap of about 15 minutes. Absolutely no reason for you to call, but you could if you'd like. And I'll give the number. Periodically, I do that. 1-800-449-8686. It's the Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. And then we have the little Cuban boy at the heart of that international custody battle. He should be reunited with his father in Cuba by January 14th, the head of the Immigration and Naturalization Service said today. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to this, and the reason why is because we got a whole lot of Mexicans that come over the border from Mexico into California, and I don't hear anybody caring at all whether they stay. But a kid comes over from Cuba, and that's a whole different ball of wax. This little boy's he's been through so much, belongs with his father, said INS Commissioner Doris Meisner. Dozens of Miami area friends and family of the boy gathered both at his Miami family's house and the local INS office in protest after the news was made public. Meisner said the INS recognized the unique relationship between parent and child. So what is the difference between the flood of immigrants that we have from Mexico and the relative trickle from Cuba? And yet, the relative trickle of immigrants from Cuba treated with great deference, while the ones from Mexico are, as I mentioned to Carell and Andrew earlier, tossed back like so much catch and release. And I think it's an interesting question. 1-800-449-8686. Let's go to Chatsworth on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah, Phil, great show as always.
Thank you.
You got to understand something. Number one, the Cuban people are very, very, very political. And we have 2 or 3 Cuban kids that are at my school.
You go to school with Cuban kids?
Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 of them. And,
Why don't you take a deep breath, kid, okay, so that...
Okay, sorry.
How about something to drink?
Hold on for a minute. Wow. To be honest with you, Phil, the Cuban people are, I don't know how to put this, you don't mess with them. You don't mess with them.
Well, who doesn't mess with them? I mean, the United States government doesn't mess with them. Excuse me, now I've got a little bit of that cough.
Hang on, I need more to drink.
Yeah, take one for me, too.
Sure. Good. But the point being, Phil, and I think it needs to be stated over and over and over yet again, the Cubans are very political and very well entrenched in the political process. You don't get in their face on this one. And my advice is that the Cuban people...
Well, wait. Which side of the ball are we talking about? The Cuban government? Or are we talking about the Cuban-American population?
The Cuban-American population down in the Miami area, because they've got the ear of the United States of America government. We don't care what happens to Castro, but if you piss off the Cuban-American people of America, Katie, bar the door, my man. There's big trouble.
Okay, let's wait a second. You're talking about how formidable the Cuban-American political influence is. What about the Mexican-American?
Not the same thing.
Why?
I mean, it's not. They don't have near the juice. The Mexican people, nice people, like them a lot. They do bitchin'. They clean up bitchin', and they do bitchin' things like cleaning up the house or whatever. But just look at the way that the Cubans play baseball. They're concentrated. They're powerful. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that the Mexican people shouldn't be treated the same way.
Well, it sounds that way to me. It sounds like you're making a case for the Cuban people as immigrants to this country and not the Mexican people.
No, I don't mean to say that. I'm just saying you don't want to get on the bad side of the Cubans because that's just, you don't want to do it. Because they're going to get in your face. They do a lot of stuff. I seen in the newspaper one time down in Miami where they blocked up all the traffic and they made everybody pissed off. But remember the ones that got shot down over the sky?
Shot down over the sky?
Yeah. The people that got shot down over the sky.
You talking about Brothers to the Rescue?
I don't know, but they got shot down over the sky down near Cuba, and that pissed a lot of people off. We're studying it right now in our general current affairs class. You got to...
Okay, you're saying that the Cubans are a formidable political presence in America, therefore they get what they want with regard to political immigration, and the Mexican people are what? They're just chopped liver, is that it?
No, but they're from Mexico.
Well, what difference does it make?
Big difference, my man. If you Cuba, they kick ass. Mexico, you go down there and get, vacation stuff.
What are you talking about? You go down there and get vacation stuff. Mexico...
All I'm saying is that Mexico doesn't have the same juice as Cuba because the Cuban people are more in the government and stuff. The Mexicans don't kick ass like the Cubans.
The Mexicans don't kick ass like the Cubans.
Right.
You don't find anything wrong with that?
Wrong with what?
The statement that the Mexicans are kicking ass like the Cubans.
Nope, sounds good to me.
All right, well, I think that as a country, we need to get our heads screwed on at least this straight, that we begin to treat all of these cases equally. Well,
don't get all grammatical on me. The Mexicans and the Cubans are...
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I think we ought to start treating all of these political cases equally. I think they're all political cases. I forget about this so-called economic as opposed to... They're all political, and they all need to be treated equally.
Well, wait a second. It's a lot tougher, my man, getting here on a raft that, on a bunch of Clorox bottles with a board taped to it, as opposed to just wading over a river. What do you think's easier, wading over a river or getting here on a board taped to some Clorox bottles?
A board taped to...
Yeah, that's how the Cubans get here.
All right, I think it's probably easier wading over a river.
Okay, so you got to give due consideration to the Mexicans, to the Cubans coming here on a Clorox bottle, as opposed, and they're tied together with floss. I know. 2 of the kids in my school, their parents got here from Cuba on a board tied to some Clorox bottles with floss. And they...
Oh, get out of here. They didn't get here on a Clorox bottle tied...
No, I swear to God. They came all the way from Cuba on a board tied with floss to a Clorox bottle. And they didn't have nothing on.
They weren't wearing any clothes.
No, when they landed in America, they were nude. They left with no clothes.
And they traveled 90 miles on a board on Clorox bottles tied to it with floss.
You're an ass if you don't believe me, because I got 2 people in my class.
All right, hold on. There's a kid, his classmates got to America. They're from Cuba. They got here on a board tied to a Clorox bottle with floss. And, oh, yeah, they were nude when they got here. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show.
Hendrie 先生一齊飛行，我哋現在正係響3萬尺高空中飛翔。順便告訴大家，插食，我哋今晚嘅特別嘉賓係 Jackie Chan 先生。
Phil Hendrie at 1-800-449-8686. This little boy who is being returned to Cuba, I don't know the whole story, but he was here. And now his father has expressed, obviously, his true wishes to have the child returned to him in Cuba, and that's the end of that. And the INS has decided that that is the Immigration Naturalization Service has decided that that's the best thing to do. The little guy, and what is his name? What's the kid's name? Elian. His Miami relatives could try to legally block the departure through a number of maneuvers. They have been taking care of the boy since he was rescued from the sea after a boat that he, his mother, and stepfather and others were on sank. His mother and stepfather died. Elian Gonzales. But the word is now he's going to be sent back there. Now, let me ask you a question. You say that the Cuban people have got all of this political juice? Oh,
absolutely, Phil. The Cuban-American community in America, you don't cross them.
Or what?
They got a lot of political power. They get presidents elected. There's no way that Jeb Bush would be the governor in Miami right now if it wasn't for, the Cubans. And the only way that George Bush is going to get elected, too, is on account of there's Cubans. And the same thing with Kennedy. It goes on and on and on and on.
What about this kid whose parents came here from Cuba that you go to school with? What do they think? Are they in favor of the Cuban-American position or the Cuba position?
Well, they are in favor of the Cuban people that live in America. They think that they should be here, and, you know, the little kid should be able to stay here. That's their opinion about it. But I don't know.
What do you think?
I think the little kid ought to be able to stay here, too, on account of the fact that you shouldn't piss off Cubans.
Hey, I noticed that you're not calling them Cubans anymore, that they're...
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh, good. You looked it up, and it's Cuban.
Yeah.
All right, 1-800-449-8686 is our number. We'll take any phone calls that you have, any comment that you have on this particular issue or topic. We got this young guy from Chatsworth who actually goes to school with a couple of Cuban kids, and the Cuban Americans who live here in the United States, obviously, in favor of the kid staying here. Cuba wants him back. What about not crossing Castro?
I don't think he's as strong. I mean, yeah, he almost got Kennedy killed, or I mean, I guess he did, but he ain't as strong as them other ones, as far as I can tell.
He's not as strong as the ones that live here.
Look, the bottom line is, you don't piss off Cubans because they've got the political juice. The Mexicans, though, they mow lawns, so they don't have as much input.
Listen to the crap that you're saying, kid. Mexicans mow lawns. Cubans don't piss them off. Why? Because they're doctors?
Yeah, that's true. And they have a lot of important stuff that they do. Mexicans just, a lot of times, pick lettuce and everything. That's all I'm saying.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show.
Why didn't you tell me the right pronunciation of Cubans, by the way? You left me with a stiff one swinging in the breeze.
I did tell you. I said it was Cuban, and you're saying Cuban.
I had to go look it up.
Good. I'm glad you looked it up. Miami on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi, Phil Hendrie?
Yes.
What's up? My name is Brian.
Yes, Brian. How are you?
I'm good. I actually had some thoughts about Elian Gonzales that I thought that I might want to get out because this guy is starting to scare me about Mexicans and Cubans.
No, I'm saying that Cubans are more powerful politically.
What are you talking about, man?
Read it and weep, my man. Are you Cuban?
Yeah.
Then you got the power.
What are you smoking?
Hey, man, get your nose into a school book.
Okay, you got anything to say there in Miami, or are you going to just sit there?
I do.
All right, well, what is it? I mean, this guy, he's going off and saying that Mexicans mow lawns so they don't have enough, they don't have any power.
Well, it's true.
See, the reason why people don't want to send Elian back is because in Cuba, they got nothing there. They don't have any resources. They got 5 families living in a house built for 3 people.
What's the difference between that and Miami?
What are you talking about, the difference? It's America.
Well, you got the same number of people living in a house.
No, you don't.
You're smoking something, man.
No,
What's wrong
dude,
with you?
I'm talking about the guys that I talk to. They say that the Cuban people in America got a lot of power.
Okay, let me tell you something about your story, man, about your people tying dental floss up to cartons. See, I've heard a lot of crazy stories, but I've never heard something like that. I know 2 Cuban people from my school.
Hey, how did your people get over here?
They come on a 20-foot boat, 70 people on a 20-foot boat, yeah. I know.
But I heard that a lot of people got to make rafts out of Clorox bottles.
Yeah, they do lots of crazy stuff, but...
There you go. That's my people.
Your people?
Who is your people?
The people that I know in my school.
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Chatsworth, California.
Well, yeah. You know a lot about Cuba there, huh?
Hey, I'm saying that you can't piss off Cubans. Why are you disagreeing with me?
See, this kid's point is you got to listen to the Cuban-American community because you guys have more juice than the Mexican-American community. And this all started, by the way, I have to take blame for this because I said, what makes a Cuban immigrant more important than a Mexican immigrant when you were allowing Cubans...
The importance is, I think, that Cuba and Cuba's influence on America...
There you go.
Castro...
What do you think I've been saying for the last 40 minutes?
I don't have a clue what the hell you've been saying, man.
I've been saying just that.
What?
Okay. Thank you for your call. Here is San Bernardino on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, that guy was dead.
I think you're just biased because you go to school with some Cubans.
I go to school with
And
two
you need
Cuban
to get
guys.
What?
Yeah, two guys from Cuba.
But that don't mean nothing. You probably acting all like that because they probably beat you up before or something.
No.
They probably got you in check.
Cubans are more powerful than the Mexican.
That's not true. That is so stupid.
How come they're kicking Mexicans out, but they're letting that Cuban kid in?
Whatever. But
They're not letting the
anyway,
Cuban kid in. They're sending the Cuban kid back.
It's not what I heard.
You need to learn how to talk because you sound very uneducated. And you don't really know what you're talking about some Cubans came over here on a bottle. That don't make sense at all.
Wait a second. The way they make them rafts is they stick a piece of wood.
But they would have died because, I mean, if they didn't have no clothes on, that is so dumb. They would have died.
You're wrong. You're just plain
No,
wrong.
No, you are so stupid.
You're not very open-minded. If you take an empty bottle of Clorox and throw it into a swimming pool, guess what it does? It floats.
Oh, my God.
It floats.
I hope the Mexicans at your school hear you. And then when you go to school tomorrow, I hope they mess you up, too.
They won't because I got two Cuban guys that'll mess them up.
Oh, my God.
What do you mean, oh, my God?
You're just biased.
I ain't biased.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
saying that the Cubans, they got a lot of people in Washington.
You need to learn how to speak proper English.
What did I say wrong?
Anyways, what color are you?
I'm
what
white.
You're white?
Getting whiter all the time.
Why you up here trying to take up for the Cubans?
Because I don't
You're not
take up
a
for
Cuban.
them. It's just that they. What do you look like?
I'm black.
Awesome.
And you need to stop all this race. You need to stop changing it into a racial issue.
I ain't changing it racial.
You are making
I'm talking about countries, not race.
But
I'm talking about Cuba and Mexico.
Oh my God, I'm finna go because you don't know how to talk. And I
Well, how am I supposed to say?
No more.
Teach me, sister.
She hung up on you, man.
That hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, she sounded pretty fine, but, you're just going to have to suck it up, pal. All right, so our number is 1-800-449. Why do I have you on the line?
I'm your guest.
Yeah.
And I'm in pain.
Great. 1-800-449-8... You're my guest.
I'm your special guest this hour on the Cuba issue.
Great. 1-800-449-8686. So one thing that you're not doing very well is you're not making people understand that you actually... that you are not taking sides. You're simply saying the reality is Cubans have more political power in America than Mexicans, correct?
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is Cubans have more political power in America than Mexicans. That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I just said. You're saying that Cubans have...
Yeah. Cubans have more political power in America than Mexicans. And the sooner we get with it and understand that, the better we're going to be, because we ain't going to be crossing off no Cubans from our birthday party list. You got to ingratiate yourself with these people.
Well, apparently it's not strong or as strong as you think it is because they did send this kid back, and I know that there are a lot of people who are very incensed about that, but that's just the way that it goes. 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show here, talking with some idiot in Chatsworth, some kid who knows a couple of Cuban kids who came over on a board taped to some Clorox bottles with dental floss. Which, by the way, the kid is right about one thing. Clorox bottles do float, and if you put a couple of boards across them, yeah, it'll turn into a raft. I don't know that you're getting 90 miles on it, though. I don't think you're going to get 90 miles on a Clorox bottle raft, but who knows? That other guy his people got here in a 20-foot open launch, that sounds a little bit more comfortable than, I don't know, scotch taping a couple of Clorox bottles to the back of your swimming trunks. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Radio. Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. Got a kid from Chatsworth High on the line. We're talking about the young Cuban boy, Elian Gonzales, who is going to be returned to Cuba, to his family, to his father, I should say. His mother and stepfather lost their lives coming to the United States. And your point is, I've heard your point. I don't need you to say it again, okay? Your point.
My point, Phil, is...
I've heard your point. I want to say it. That you say the Cuban people have more political influence in America. That's why more of them are treated seriously as immigrants.
Right. My point is that the Cuban...
I got it already, okay? I got to go to another phone call. Fort Knox on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't agree with this other kid on the line. I don't think that he has any idea what the hell he's talking about, really. And,
I studied it in school.
You did what?
We studied it in current events.
Okay, well, that's good for you, son. How old are you anyway?
17.
You're 17 years old. Well, let me tell you something. I'm in the United States Army, and I have a little bit more of an idea about what life's all about.
Well, I'm telling you, the Cuban people, you better not mess with them.
And why is that?
Because they have more friends in the Washington, D.C. area.
Oh, okay. And how do you know this?
Because look at all of them that come over here as immigrants, and nobody ever sends them back except for now that one kid.
They've been sending them back for years.
Oh, crap.
They just don't come on the news. Because the only reason you found out about this...
I don't know where you're getting your...
little boy.
What?
The only way that you found out about this in current events is because some little boy lost his mom and his stepdad. That's the only reason you heard about it.
Where are you getting your information?
Gee, CNN maybe?
I think you're misinformed on the political deal.
Okay, so
just because you're in the Army, all you guys...
Grow up.
Well, what am I saying that's wrong?
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Like where? Like what?
Gee, the Cubans have so much political power and all this immigration crap. What do you know? You probably still live with your parents. Just
Castro,
because you read a newspaper or watch TV every once in a while, what do you know?
Hey, what if we get into a shooting war with Castro? Then what?
And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to fix it because that's my job.
He's going to kick butt.
Get out of here. Castro on a little tiny island going to kick butt?
They'll go into caves and stuff. It'll be a guerrilla war.
Yeah, okay. It'll be a real guerrilla war. It'll be like Iraq.
You guys
only a hell of a lot smaller.
You guys will have to take flamethrowers and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
You know that Castro, you know he'll open up on your ass.
Yeah,
you know he will.
Yeah, uh-huh. Sure he will. Guys, this kid makes me laugh.
What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing because you were making maybe a little bit of sense about the relative political influence of Cuban and Mexican people. But what do you mean Castro will open up on his ass?
You know he will.
Oh, yeah.
Castro is so isolated in this world, it's pathetic. I mean, he's got friends, maybe China, but his military has got nothing. Get out of here, kid. What are you, dreaming?
Did you ever see that movie Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood? Hey, kid.
I guess
what?
Yeah. What are you doing? Are you standing guard out near the barracks?
No.
Would you go over to get yourself another bottle of beer or something?
Yeah, that's because I am old enough to drink, which evidently you're not.
If you see Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood in it,
I saw the movie.
They got Cubans in there. They kick ass.
Oh, sure they did.
All right.
Listen, if Cuba was a threat, don't you think we would have nuked them already?
No. Because the Russians would nuke us.
Cuba is a little tiny island in the middle of the ocean, and evidently it's not that big of a deal to the rest of the world besides you.
Thanks for your call, sir. 1-800-449-8686.
Yeah, go scrub the latrine out on account of you got KP duty.
Oh, shut up.
What?
Just be quiet. Pineville on the Phil Hendrie Show.
Hi, Phil.
Hi.
I'm calling, so I'm going to speak with this kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm under the impression that he goes to
That guy says he was in the Army. I doubt it very sincerely.
Okay, listen, Junior, isn't it almost your bedtime? And I was curious if you've been sniffing those Clorox bottles as well.
Oh,
I'm from that. I was born and raised in that area, in the Simi Valley.
You're smoking cigarettes.
No, sir, actually, I'm not. But at least I can buy them. I want to find out. I think you're a poor representation of that area. I was raised in Simi Valley, California.
I'm one of the better people from this area.
Actually, I would have to say you're one of the worst.
Hey, what is this, open mic night or something? Where
you know what? You opened it up for yourself.
You did, kid. You're the one that was talking about
it. You really did start
this. This is real amateur
now,
hour,
as far as this child is concerned, I'm a Hispanic female. As a Hispanic female, are you trying to tell me that because my grandparents are from Spain, my grandparents came here legally from Spain.
Oh, wait a second.
That
Here
we are not as good. Wait a minute. That we are not as good as the Cubans that come over on supposed Clorox bottles.
Did you say you're Hispanic?
I said I'm Hispanic. You might want to clean your ears out, Junior.
You said you're Hispanic.
Come on, grow up.
How old is this kid, Phil?
I said I'm 16.
Oh, I thought you said you were 17.
Well, then why are you asking?
Because I wanted to make sure, because you can't keep your story straight. I have listened to you.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
All right, so look, your grandparents come from Spain.
And
her grandparents are from Mexico. Everybody says that.
No, my grandparents are actually from Spain. And I think that this child does have a better life in the United States.
Well, but the point being that the father wanted him home, and this is a rare instance where the United States has returned, well, not a rare instance, a rare instance in this situation where the United States would return a child back to Cuba. As high as the feelings go against the Castro regime, the INS felt it was better that the kid be with his mother and father.
Family.
Boy, what a mess up, man, because they're going against the Cuban people, what live down in the